Let's pop this open here, and you can see Lyra coming in with more than Soul Cadence. I never envisioned the improvement would be this crazy. This buff is not a joke. That is a huge number. My God. How the heck are you guys? I am Fastidious. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about one of my favorite heroes in all of Watcher of Realms, and she just got a buff. Well, when you guys are watching this, she just received a buff. I'm actually filming the first half of this video before the buff, because I want to compare my girl Lyra pre-buff and post-buff, because this buff is looking pretty significant, especially on an account that has Lyra with some awakenings. So you can see right now, I'm not on my account. Maybe you can't tell that, but I don't have A5 Lyra. I have A4 Lyra. But I wanted to show A5 Lyra in all her glory, so I'm on a viewer account right now, pre-buff, just a couple hours before this buff is scheduled, before this big update is scheduled, actually. So if you're watching this video right when it comes out, there's a very big surprise update we're getting. Look for that other video. It probably came out before this one. So it's one of my most recent videos from when this video drops. But I'm on a viewer account. You can see over here, I'm on Doom Skull's account, and he's a member of my Discord. So if you didn't know, I've got a big Discord, the Fast and the Fastidious. We recently passed 12,000 members. You can see we're at 12,085 members. I'm very proud of the community we have built here. And if you join as a member, link in the description in the top pinned comment, you will get a lot of perks, potentially. You get early access to news, early access to videos, early alerts about videos, and most importantly for many people, you'll get early information on promo codes the second they drop. So definitely don't miss out on that. Another potential perk, though, is occasionally I want to do testing on viewer accounts because I don't want to use the test server, and I don't think my account is perfect for something. So when that happens, I make an announcement like this. You can see I currently have it X'd out because we fulfilled my request, but I said, hey at everyone, does anyone have an A5 Lyra? I want to test her in Abyss pre and post update buff. Please, only players with A5 Lyra. I have A4. I need A5 for the testing. Thanks. And then I updated it, as you can see now. So if we look here now, you can see I crossed it out right after, and I said update, found an account. I think about 6 of you reached out almost immediately, and it's first come, first serve. That is contingent upon the people coming having the appropriate thing I'm looking for. So if these people came with an undeveloped account or an A3 Lyra, not A5, that wouldn't work. So it's first come, first serve, assuming you have the goods, you have what I'm looking for. And that was Doom Scroll, so thank you to him and thank you to everyone else who reached out. Why is this a perk? Well, depending on what I want to test, you're probably going to get some kind of free takeover. So that's what's going to happen today. You can see here with his Abyss team, he runs Watchguard with Infernal Blast. His best score of all time is 43,277. I'm pretty dang sure, even with the pre-buff Lyra, we're about to beat it. So I'm going to do that right now so we can set a baseline. I'm also going to break down what changes are coming, just so you guys are aware. But he's going to get a new high score, and then post-buff, it should be an even higher score. So I already went ahead before filming and geared out this team, did a little testing. It's going pretty well. This is like a definitively late game account. He's nearly level 100. Very good heroes, pretty good gear. You know, good gear, not amazing gear. You'll see in a second. Lots of good pieces, very few like perfect pieces, very few quads, stuff like that. Not the greatest rolls, but very relevant, very usable gear, appropriate stuff. And you can see very good awakenings. A5, A5, A1, A1, A2, A1 here on the Narissa. Really, really, really good stuff. So let's hop into it and let's look at Lyra right now and let's go through the changes. So you can see this is the big update announcement. It should be happening in just a couple hours. So we got to get into the filming right now of the actual showcase. If I click this page over here, this is a breakdown of the Lyra buff. So they've changed a few things. They've changed her ultimate, they've changed her passive, they've changed her A1, her A3, and her A5. So the changes will affect everyone because the ultimate and the passive have been adjusted, but the most important changes come with the new A3 and the new A5. Very good stuff. I really like the direction they're pushing her. I'm close to getting A5 Lyra myself. I'm just one copy away. So I'm definitely looking forward to this buff. I also just think she's the coolest. If you've got her skin, I can't remember off the top of my head, but one of you amazing viewers gifted me her skin a couple months ago. Wowie, we like it for sure. Hell of a skin. All right, stop simping, start breaking down. You can see Lyra over here, the Cosmic Seer. So the first change is to the ultimate. Previously, and I'll just read this at full skill ups, she would summon a meteor to deal 700% damage to one enemy in range, and you can see that right here. I'll pop open the skills. Pretty simple stuff. 700% damage, one enemy in range. Now post buff, so after this update, she is going to summon a meteor to deal 700% damage to one enemy in range. That's the same, but then she also inflicts burning. So this is really good. It's a 10-second burn. This is just extra damage. But this new feature is very relevant. Actually, the A1 is a really good buff too, and it ties directly into this change to the ultimate. But we'll get to that in one moment. If we go to Rift Resonance, that is going to be her first passive over here. You can see pre-buff, when Starfall Strike's Meteorite hits, that's the meteor she shoots with her ultimate. When that hits, she's going to increase her attack by 35% for 15 seconds, and she dispels one buff. Pretty nice ultimate, but there is one key problem, and that is getting fixed. And the key problem is the following. Her meteor is one of her biggest hits. Also, if she's got those summons above her shoulder, those are also going to give big hits. But she doesn't get the attack buff until after the hit, so the hit itself does not have the attack buff. So you can see after this change, after today's update, when the ultimate is triggered, she's going to increase her attack by up to 35% for 15 seconds. That's before she's going to do the meteorite. Then the dispel happens when the meteor hits, but the meteor will hit after the attack bonus has been applied, so it's going to hit for more damage. And this should be significant for sure. Let's go to the Awakenings now. We're getting 3 Awakening changes, A1, A3, A5. A1 currently is the following. This is tied to the ultimate Starfall Strike again. Using Starfall Strike will extend the duration of all the Cosmic Rifts. These are the summons above her shoulder. They're going to last 8 more seconds. I believe they start at lasting 15 seconds. Is that correct? 18 seconds. This brings it up to 26 seconds. I think it used to be 15 before her first buff. This is actually Lyra's second buff. So it makes it last 26 seconds. This guarantees incredibly high uptime, so you don't have to be obsessively hyper-focused on her shoulders and making sure they're there. They're going to last 18 seconds as a baseline. She can always reapply them, and then when she ults, it's another 8 seconds. So effectively, a lot of them are going to have a 26-second life. That's really good. We do get an even better change, though. On top of all that stuff remaining, you can see here with the A1, after she does that and it's extended by 8 seconds, sure, she now will have the ability for the burning she puts out with her ultimate. Her post-buff ultimate now puts out burning, and now the Cosmic Rifts at A1 are going to have the ability to also apply burning. The key thing is, though, these burnings will be considered different types of burning. So it's like a different stack of burning or a different debuff of burning along the bar. That is very, very significant because typically each hero can only apply one type of burning or one pile or one mark of burning. Now she can do up to 3. The one from herself, the one from Cosmic Rift number 1, the one from Cosmic Rift number 2. So the way Vorn is so essential with poison, because he can put out 2 piles of up to 10 stacks of poison, so effectively 20 stacks instead of 10, Lyra's putting out 3 burnings instead of just 1 like all the other units. Very, very, very good. If we go to the A3, this was always strong, but it just got stronger. You can see right here, when Celestial Confluence reaches full stacks, this is her second passive. The damage dealt by the Cosmic Rifts, so those summons above her shoulders, when they're doing basic attacks, so when they're copying her basic attacks, that damage is going to be increased by 100% of the hero's basic attack damage. Now, typically, the basic attack damage is cut in half, I do believe. Let's check right here. Let's click on a Cosmic Rift, and you can see they're going to mimic things, including basic attacks, but it comes with a penalty, right? So mimicked basic attacks and focus fire attacks, if you're using an Infernal Lord, they're only going to deal 50% of the typical damage, not the full 100%. At A3, you get the ability for them to deal the full 100%. Additionally, the meteors are also going to inflict stun on the target. So it's already very good, but the new A3 is even better. So you can see here, I'll move myself up. Sorry, I got to keep moving myself everywhere so you can read it. Now, all that stuff remains the same, but the Starfall Strike damage against shielded targets is going to be increased by 100%. So already, at High Awakenings, Lyra has been good in an Infernal team comp for Abyss 1, but with 100% increased damage against shields from her ultimate, it's definitely taken to a new level. So that's very, 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 very relevant. Keep in mind, the damage during the ultimate is also 100% mimicked by the summons, by the Celestial Rifts. So that's a lot more damage. She's doing 2x damage on that initial strike. That could be the difference between breaking a magic shield in Abyss and not breaking a magic shield. Everything else here is the same though. We've got to go to the next page for the A5 buff, and this is the one I'm most excited about, though I'm excited about a lot of this stuff, so that's why I needed an A5 account. You can see before at A5, she would have her Starfall Strike ignore 70% of magic resistance, but it came with a penalty of reducing her natural rage regeneration by 15%. So it's like a minus 15% to her rage. You can kind of think of it as the rage she's getting from the Pantheon, that rage regen stat, is now kind of having 15% subtracted from it. So a lot of stuff changed now. It's a lot stronger. You can see, yes, you need her A5, but this is something you're going to be excited to get. Now, when it's triggered, she's going to increase her crit damage by 50% for 15 seconds. She's going to ignore 80% of the magic resistance, so an 80% shred, basically, of the magic defenses, and no more penalty with the rage regen. So she can ult cycle faster. You don't have to worry as much with your builds. So a better shred, an increased crit damage of 50%. She ults a lot, so that's pretty dang good uptime. This is very, very nice. I will say, I don't really understand how the 80% from 70% makes a difference, and that's because naturally she's putting out a very constant single target minus 30% magic res reduction, so you only need another 70% to make it a 100% shred. I guess in theory, if they somehow were blocking this or cleansing it off, then it's relevant, but the main significant change on the A5 is that crit damage boost she's going to get after the update. You're going to see that in part 2 of our testing, and it's going to be the loss of this rage regen penalty. She no longer has to incur that loss. So pretty incredible stuff. Let's get right into the showcase. This is the comp I'm running here. We've got a Nightmare comp with Torador, Kagiri, Ryzen, Sun Wukong, and Narissa as an off-faction member. And then we've got 5 Infernals. We've got Soul Cadens, Lord Phineas, Lyra herself at A5, Diao Chan, and Aelin. We're going to do it right now before the buff happens. Then you'll see me again tomorrow. Post-buff, I'll do it again, and we'll see how much Lyra's damage rises. Now, I'm not going to do multiple runs of each. I'm hoping the change is significant enough that we're not going to have to find it in the little tiny details, and we're not going to hunt for, you know, miscellaneous variants and stuff like that. I think it will be significant. How significant, though, we are about to find out. Before we hop in, you can check the BP right here so you can make sure it matches tomorrow. I can't imagine anything changing, but if it does, maybe the New Awakenings give more BP. I don't think that will be a thing. I'll show you a couple builds just to set kind of a standard of where we're at. This is Kagiri. That's an excellent piece, a great quad. This is Kagiri, a good quad, and this is Kagiri, no quad, right? We wanted the Watchguard exclusive, and we wanted to use these 2 other quads. It's got 2 relevant substats, and then pretty useless heal effect and HP bonus. You can see here, a good quad, not amazing, and here, a good quad, not amazing. If I show you another unit, just to kind of, I'm trying to give you a sense of the account. I don't want to break it all down. You can use this as a guide, especially if you run an Infernal comp, but you don't have to. Here, we are running Ryzen in Infernal Roar. That's because we ran out of Soulbound Arcana and we didn't have any more good Cataclysm. Infernal Roar is pretty good for him. It's definitely not ideal. Solid quad, no quad, just a trip. And then here, no quad, just a trip, a little bit of flat HP. I'm hoping he has enough HP, we'll see. Here, I'm hunting HP, low attack bonus roll. Here, we got a quad with flat attack, but low rolls. I think that gives you a sense. Finally, I do have to show you Lyra. I believe this is going to be her best in slot build. We'll have to do some more testing post-buff, but so much of her damage is going to come from her ultimate, and then in the period following, especially if you have her A5, I just think Hell's Lament makes a lot of sense. So you can see we've got a good-looking quad here. Not the greatest variant effect for this content, but hey, it's something. We've got a nice quad here. I really like this piece. And finally, we do have an Esoteria Order exclusive. She does have dual faction in Esoteria Order and Infernal. You can see right above my head. So that's pretty dang nice. It's not the greatest piece in the world with that defense bonus, but it is nice. I will say I'm worried about this HP as well. I'm hoping she makes it. I think she will. And then we've got an excellent quad here. She's got the best gear on the account, basically, because I want to highlight her. And then we've got a pretty good looking one here. I did need some HP bonus. Wish we had more attack speed. For the artifact, we're cooking with this pretty good tier of Twilight. And now I think you've got a very nice sense. The last thing I want to say as we hop into battle, I do think we're all going to feel an improvement with Lyra post buff, but having Awakenings is going to allow you to feel a stronger improvement. I think that A1 with the multiple stacks of burning is very significant. I think the A3 is really, really nice as well with the increased shield damage. And then the A5 obviously is really good. No more penalty, a little more shred, and the boosted crit damage. All right, let's get our deploys going. Hopefully we nail this on our first attempt. We got Kagiri right here, and I'm going to have him get buffed from Diao-chan right there. I'm going to put Lyra over here and then buff her with Nerissa. I believe Nerissa. I do believe Nerissa is wearing Wings of Grace. She is. Then we'll get Sung Wukong right here and Aelin here. That's only going to be an Invig. We only had 2 good Wings of Grace. Then I'm going to get Soul Cadence here, Ryzen here, Lord Phineas here, and Torador there. Let's switch over Diao. Let's throw this on auto for 1 second. Let's throw it on 2x. So we got the trigger from Soul Cadence to put on the vulnerabilities. We got the trigger from Kagiri. I'll wait as soon as Wukong triggers, and I will toggle it off. And we are off to the races. Let's just make myself a tiny bit smaller, and let's enjoy this run. I might get a little quiet because I want this to be very clean, but it is what it is, baby. All right, here comes the Worm's Wrath. Let's ult. I'll explain what I feel I must. Boom. Let's get ready. I'm going to wait for Soul Cadence here so I can get the vulnerabilities up for these guys when we're in the vulnerability phase. Soul Cadence is taking absolutely forever. Should have put a little Rage in it. I hope I can trigger Kagiri fast enough. We did. Okay, perfect. That actually lined up really well. Damage looks really good. I'm going to tell you, unless I make a technical mistake, I did the best builds this account could manage, in my opinion. We're definitely going to get this guy a new high score, for sure. I'm thinking 50K. And I'm thinking maybe post Lyra, I don't know, if her damage is like significantly boosted, like let's say we put up 55K right now, could Lyra's bonuses, could her post buff version, you're going to see at the end of this video, the second half of this video, could that be 5,000 more blood? That'd be 50 million more damage. I think it certainly could be 20 or 30 million more damage, right? And that would be an additional 2 or 3K blood. All right, there we're switching over. Let's ult with Lyra. She can ult fast enough that we'll get that at the beginning. We'll see. Pretty good hits there. Settling in. Let's go Soul Cadence. Go Aelin. Saving Kagiri for when we need a parry. All right, let's switch this on 1x. I just like to use Wukong so I don't have to see it. Trigger. So here's a good moment, right? I'm sure we'll take this first shield down quickly. We'll see about the, I guess this is technically the second shield, the first magic shield. We'll see about the fourth shield, the second magic shield. But once Lyra's buffed, we should try to clock here the burst we're about to get from this Lyra ult and compare it to the post-buff burst, because she should do double damage from triggering that ultimate. Let's see. Phineas will come in and then Lyra, so a pretty big chunk. Yeah, we're hoping for bigger for sure. There's another big chunk. That might have been Lyra actually coming in. I think it was. I think the first chunk was Phineas, and then that was Lyra. I'm expecting now, post-buff, Lyra to have already wiped it. We don't need any extra hits at the end. That's what I'd love to see. All right, I got about 16 seconds till the switch over. We will ult with Soul Cadence as soon as we can. And then we're going to move on to the next physical. Fourth magic should be pretty interesting. I do want to point out, in case people didn't know, Lyra's already good, right? She's already putting up pretty dang nice damage at A5 pre-buff. Granted, this is A5, but I do think she's been underrated for a while with Awakenings. It's frustrating she needs Awakenings. And I think now she'll be higher rated without and with, but it's still going to be the kind of thing where you really do want her with Awakenings, at least for like endgame content. All right, let's keep it on 1x and let's settle in. Let's try to get these physical triggers here. Boom, boom. Perfect. All right, this looks good. Trigger her for fun. Trigger Aelin a little early. We're on 1x. I'm not going to use Soul Cadence here. I want to save him for the shields. Kagiri got triggered. Perfect. There's the worms. Throw it on 1x. Let's trigger Torador. Now let's get these timings nice and tight. Right into Soul Kittens. Get the vulnerabilities up in 1 second. You'll see. There they are. Boom. Now Ryzen should be able to shred this thing. I'll trigger Wukong if we need. Nope, don't need to. Great. Wukong and Kagiri. Kagiri got the trigger. A lot of damage for this account. I mean, we're gonna blow past his old number, right? 41k, and we're only 3 shields deep. That's really good. Let's trigger Lyra. Another thing is, post-buff Lyra, maybe we could do 3 ults, because she's not gonna self-penalty with the Rage Regen from the A5, right? That might be something. She is our leading DPS, kind of neck and neck with Soul Kittens. We can get a quick Soul Kittens trigger there, by the way. Pretty nice stuff. I think I said 41 was his record, right? So let's make a note of when we pass that. Put it on 1x so I can get these heals lined up. That's good. Let's wait. I almost blew it with the heals there. Let's try to look at the Lyra blast here again. Okay, good. That's gonna be the shield. So the first chunk should be Phineas. Now this next chunk should be Lyra. And maybe it was together that time. It really is hard to see. We'll have to compare and contrast. Here comes Soul Kittens. This should be the difference. Unless he doesn't get it off on time. Come on, buddy. Did we just blow it? Oh my god, really? Nope, just got it. Oh my god, I almost blew my run by being overeager with Soul Kittens. It actually ends up perfect, but that was within a second of timing. That's terrible. Well, I'm glad I nailed it. Look at that. We broke it there, right? That's a new record for him. Let's wait. Let's wait. Switch over in a second. Kagiri trigger. Did I miss it? No, we got it. Perfect. I hope we can tank this. I think Lyra might die. Remember, she only has like 25k. Ryzen also could die. I just hope Soul Kittens doesn't die, to be honest. I've taken huge hits. We're going to have to time this perfectly with Aelin. I might even do a Diao switch here to be safe. Should I? I think I will. Not ideal, but we'll do it, because we're going to save the ults anyway. Let's ult here. Okay, perfect. Don't die, don't die. Nice. Diao back. I'm going to hold all the ults. We just passed 50k, so that was a cool number for him. If we can take the shield down, I mean, you never know. We can take the shield down, man. We got him 60k on our first try here. That's why maybe you want to sign up for these things sometimes. You get a free takeover, huh? So that definitely a new high score by 10k at least, but might be even better than that. All right, let's try to time this. Boom, boom. I just missed Kagiri. No, we're good. This is the best attempt we'll get at the physical, and I don't think he has enough juice. With this gear, even with Ryzen, even with the vulnerabilities, it's not enough. Unfortunately, I actually don't think he's going to get 60k till he has better gear, period, because I think we'll still get hung up on this shield. Lyra's not going to get us another 84 million, which would be the 8.4 blood, or 83 million would be 8.3k, but still pretty good. Valiant effort, 10k more, so he can enjoy that. And there we go. We set a little baseline with Lyra. Let's take a little peek. Let's make a note of all this stuff. And then I'm going to cut the video here. You guys won't know it. Well, maybe my outfit will change. It will be the next day, and it will be post-buff, and we'll get to check out Lyra. So Kagiri, a superstar. Pretty good stuff. And then Lyra, so this is like the quirk of the stage. A lot of her damage is going into the shield, so it's not really showing there. We'll have to see what it looks like when we see the whole thing shake out. But I mean, she's like there with Phineas, pre-buff. Again, this isn't counting the shield damage, but it's also not counting his shield damage. It's pretty good stuff. We're hoping to see a market improvement, so 54.6. Can't wait to see what happens after. So let's move ahead to tomorrow and check out Lyra, post-update, post-buff. All right, folks, the buff happened, so we are good to go. It did happen a day later than we expected. They postponed the update by a day, but here we are. This is the new and improved Lyra. I just want to show you it's the exact same build. Nothing changed at all. Thank you again to Doomskull for providing the account. I will say, The team BP is slightly higher. Now, why is that? Well, if you remember, in the first part, we were at 1,090,000. Now we're at 1,091,000. Doomskull was doing some augmenting and slightly improved the Ryzen artifact. This Blight Caller's Claw over here, there's nothing I can really do. So Ryzen maybe is gonna be that much better. It's 1K more BP. Everything else is identical. Let me just show you everything with Lyra that they said was coming. The burning on the ultimate is now here, that 10-second burning. If we go to the first passive, when the ultimate's triggered, you now immediately get the attack boost for 15 seconds, not when the meteorite hits. So that is very good. And then we got the changes to the awakenings. So we can put the burning out with the A1. With the A3, we're getting the increased damage against shielded targets. And then at the A5, we're getting the crit damage boost. They ignore 80% of the magic res, and they have removed the rage regen penalty. So the new and improved Lyra is here. All right, so let's get into it. I can already make myself small and move myself out of the way. Let's see how Lyra does post buff. I'm expecting pretty big things. I think it was 54 million. You guys know better than me at this point. Pretty sure it was 54 million. Let's go and let's place our Kagiri here, Yao-Chan here, Lyra here, Narissa here. Get a little Wukong action, get a little Aelin. And we can place our Soul Cadence here. My dog is making a ton of noise. Mr. Ryzen. That's going to be Phineas. And finally, Torador. Bolt. Get through this all. I'm going to do my absolute best to get the timings as similar to before as possible. But a little bit will be what it is, you know? I can only do so much. So we're settling in. If you're just curious about the end, you can fast forward. Otherwise, you can watch the run. Maybe it's going to help you with your runs. I don't know. X. Ryzen. Wait again. Soulkins. Those vulnerabilities up. A little too long. I was a little late on the trigger. Okay, we're good. Kagiri still went, so everything's clean. Very consistent. Let's throw it on 1x so we hit Lyra right on the switch. I'm very curious about the damage. I think she did 32 million. Not 13. 32 million. The first phase that she was able to deal DPS, so phase 2 of the initial test. I mean, with a big hit already, she should be stronger in a couple ways. Every time we trigger the ult, she's instantly getting that attack boost, right? That passive is going to trigger right away. And then I really want to see how much she chunks down those shields. I'm very keen on that one. For Draylin, because why not? Here's the Seismic. Let's go Soul Cadence. Can't remember if I sat on Soul Cadence last time, but regardless, Lyra for this round. Here's the Deluge, so let's save this for the shield. Okay, perfect. Let's go with Phineas. Let's wait a beat. 29, boom. Lyra, let's see. Pretty major chunk. Basically took the whole thing out. It's hard to know without seeing it visually side by side, but the damage is looking right. Lyra's coming in now. She's already at 33, 35. Remember, I said it was about 32 last time. We can get Soul Kittens up in a second for some vulnerabilities. Looks like she's going over 40. So her damage is up like at least 25% from last time. And climbing. Still going. And not too shabby. It is weird now, though, that she's not, numbers not going up further. She just kind of stopped attacking a little early. Kind of bizarre, right? I don't know what that's all about. Very weird. Anyway, let's soldier on. Yeah, she went from 32 to 41, right? So that's close to 30% more damage, like 27% more damage. Very nice. Bolt there with Aelin. Here. Probably went a little early with Kagiri. Find out slightly better. See if Ryzen takes this thing down himself. No, he did last time. Get it? Boom, he just does. Perfect and perfect. Here you got the trigger. Nice. Let's throw it on 1x for the switch. That's going to happen at 306. Boom. Vulcan's lined up well too. Let's see. Lyra jumps up to 15 million there with Sulkin. So already she's close to where she was before. I actually got to focus on the timings a bit more. There. She's up to 62 now. So if it was like 54 last time, she's already looking at least a 20% improvement or so. We know that's going to be locked in. Could be a good deal more though. Here's the meteoric deluge. Let's do it together again. It's got to kick off. Wait for this. Boom. Ult. Boom. See. Really chunking that down. Her with Soul Cadence is a big connection. She's up to 81 million. That's a pretty colossal improvement. That is pretty major stuff. Like that is no joke. One buff, she's up to 90 million. So 36 million more damage, right? That's 2/3 because 54 divided by 3 is 18. She's up 66% damage now. I mean, that is remarkable. That is really something. We'll keep going on the run just to see what we can get him. We did get the Kagiri trigger there. Let's see if we have a shot at this shield now. Can't imagine we do. We're going to sit on Soul Cadence. Throw on 1x. We're up to 51 now. Right about where we were last time. I'm going to make an attempt at the shield. We'll see. Switched you out of white mode. I think it's our only shot. Aelin. Just held on. Yes. Okay, switched you out back. Sit here on Wukong. I don't think we'll be able to get this, but we might as well try. Okay, Wrath. See how well I can time this out for him. A free little boost. Up to 54 though right now. Here he just got the trigger, and now let's see. He's just behind, right? He's so close to getting a 60k, it's crazy. We actually did time it out better than the first attempt. Got about, what, 15-20% left. A little bit more farming because we know this gear needs a little improvement. He is good to go. But look how close we got, 54.1k. That is really, really, really nice. Lyra got up over 90 million. I will have gone back and put a screenshot of the original damage. Let's pop this open here, and you can see Lyra coming in with more than Soul Cadence at 90.8 million. I never envisioned the improvement would be this crazy. This buff is not a joke. That is a huge number. My God. Okay, let me get a very quick Google sheet together so we can do a little comparison, but holy moly, that is insane. All right, so here we go. I figure we can just compare Lyra and Soul Cadence. Soul Cadence did do worse this time. It must have been something that I'd like missed one ult. That's the only thing I can think of. So we left a little bit on the table, but you can see even the better run for Soul Cadence with the pre-buff run, that first test we did, that was still worse than Lyra's post-buff run. I think both of these could be refined. Maybe they could both be somewhere in the 90 millions on a run like this. It would be even better if we took out that 5th shield, so then we got a little more damage out with our magic units. So they both would break 100 million. Pretty phenomenal. You can see, unfortunately, because of the execution or some timing, Soul Cadence did 12% worse, but this is key. Like I said, 2/3. Lyra did 66% more damage. That is mind-boggling. Here are the results from the first run. I've got the clip of it here. 88.785 for Soul Cadence, so it's 88.8 million. And then Lyra was at 54.6 million. This was the growth we just saw. Pretty tremendous stuff, pretty remarkable stuff. I expected an improvement of about 20 to 30%. Never, ever did I think we'd have an improvement of 66%. She's definitely better than Hex now. She is going to be key in the Infernal comp. This is a phenomenal result. Like, I'm very blown away by this. And remember, I put some good gear on her, but you could do a lot better than this. You know, I like, this account is still getting their Abyss 1 done. You know, it's a nice account, but it has work to do when it comes to end game farming. It's good late game gear. If we look here, it's like this piece is good, but the rolls aren't that high. This piece is better, but again, it's not crazy. I know it might feel crazy, but like for the 1 unit in Hell's Lament, it's not. It's good. And then this is missing a 4th substat. Like, we're leaving stuff on the table. This piece is phenomenal. This piece is subpar for this level, for sure. It's not a quad. We did need the HP, but then the rolls are low. So we left some stuff on the table. I mean, if my Lyra's A4, if I got her A5, my Lyra would put up probably 120 million. And that's amazing. I'm blown away. That's where we're going to leave it. Thank you guys so much. I've been Fastidious. Subscribe to the channel. I'm blown away by this result. She is a hot babe, and now she's putting up hot numbers, baby. Thank you. Share with your mother, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.